Hi, this is Matt from tracymatt.co.uk, and here I have the Samsung ST550, one of their new breed of digital cameras that has a forward and rear LCD screen. So I'm just going to do a quick unbox for you now. So first of all, we have the quick start manual, which is printed in a variety of languages. So the only English part is about 5 or 6 pages, not a lot to read there for getting started. We have the camera itself, which we'll look at in a bit more detail in just a moment. Obviously this is a PR model, so we've got tags and things that have been removed from the camera already. And then we have a battery. It's an SLB07A 720 milliamp hour battery. There are actually 2 batteries in this pack. There's one already in the camera and there's this extra battery. Now, whether or not that's part of the full retail package, we'll have to check that out before we do the full review. But there are 2 with my review model. Then we have a USB to proprietary connector. This connector actually connects to the bottom of the camera, like so, to charge and to synchronize or download the footage that you've recorded or stills that you've snapped on the camera. Have a small wrist strap style kind of lanyard thing. Have a charger, which is actually a USB style charger, unusual for that USB style charger with digital cameras. Then do have a composite video output cable, so we've got composite video and 1 audio channel, and we also have that proprietary style connector, which again plugs into the bottom of the camera. Then we have our international warranty card. We then have a user manual on CD-ROM and Adobe Reader, and a small product leaflet there. Also in the box we do have a SanDisk 2GB micro SD memory card, because this camera does take, unusually actually, does take micro SD memory cards. So that is also in the box. Again, whether or not that's included with the full product when you purchase it, not 100% sure, but we'll find that out before we do the written review. So taking a look at the camera itself, it's quite a nice looking design. This one obviously here is red, but they're available in different colours. Nice piano black finish. On the back, the first thing you're going to really sort of notice that makes it stand out is a 3.5 inch diagonal display, which absolutely dominates the back of the unit itself, and it is touchscreen. On top we have the standard controls, so we have the power button, the shutter release button, then our zoom control is actually this just small bit here. It's actually a bit clicky, that control, rather than being a smooth or soft control, but you know, it's no big deal. We have a playback button there as well, which changes it into play or review mode from shooting mode. Nothing really to see around the side, just a eyelet there for putting lanyard or your wrist strap on, and really nothing to see on the other side. There is just a little loudspeaker. On the bottom we have a standard 1/4 inch screw thread, so you can connect it up to a tripod, and that proprietary style connector there where we actually plug in the sync charge and the video cable. Under this cover, spring loaded, we have a socket for the micro SD HC memory card, and then battery is already in there. Battery is locked in place with this small blue tab here. That will close it up like so. On the front we have a flash and obviously the lens itself, and not that you can see it just at the moment, I'll turn it on in a second, but we do have a forward facing LCD screen, which there's a few cameras that are coming out with this forward facing screen. It's one of those things, it's a very simple idea, but it's kind of one of those eureka moments where, you know, if you're taking self-portraits, it makes absolute sense to have that LCD on the front. So let's just turn on. And the first thing we see obviously is that the screen turns on, and as I say, it is all completely touch screen, so we can go through the menus with our fingers, and we can turn the sidebars on and off for different settings. And if I just place something in the way, nothing very interesting, just place that in the field of view there, we can zoom right in, although we're obviously not in macro mode, and obviously right out. It is a 4 0.6 times optical zoom, which isn't bad for a camera of its size. So if we just turn on the front facing display, you can see there that turns on. It's perfect for taking self-portraits and is an absolutely excellent idea. Has a Schneider lens, as you can see there, which is quite cool. Quick rundown of the specification for you. 12 megapixel sensor, which is reasonably good for a camera of its size and quality. 4.6 times zoom. Focal length equivalent to 35mm of 27 to 124 millimeters. It's got all the really standard camera controls that you'd expect: auto white balance, auto focus, variable aperture, and variable ISO sensitivity. That LCD screen, as I say, is 3.5 inch and is quite high res. The maximum movie resolution, because you can record movies, is 1280 by 720, which is quite cool, and it can record that at 30 frames per second. Macro mode, we can focus up to 3 centimeters from the lens, again, which is quite good. And we've got different metering modes too. As you'd expect, there is a self timer, and obviously we can connect up to the PC. Dimensions, it's 100mm wide and 60mm tall, and when we actually wind the camera lens back in by turning off, that is actually just under 19mm thick. Weighs 165 grams, which isn't terribly heavy, and when it's closed up like that, it's quite slim, so easily sit in your pocket. We'll have a review of the Samsung ST550 on tracyandmatt.co.uk over the next week or so, and if you're a fan of the unboxing videos, check out the others that we have on unboxings.com.